and ESEA. The Legion post-match breakdown.
Well, what can you say about that one? OpTic Gaming, undoubted North American/European underdogs coming into Fnatic's map pick, and they've done it in a full 30 rounds. I've got these experts joining me, ex-players of Counter-Strike, and soon perhaps to return to the fray. Either way, we have Pimp and we have Y&K. Now, let's try and get this one into perspective. We have Inferno, Fnatic coming into this one as favourites, undoubtedly after a fantastic performance tournament and online. And OpTic have gone and caused another spanner in the works. It just keeps on coming, Yanko.
True, and Fnatic had a great start. Yes, they lost the pistol round, were down 2-0, but ever since the first gun round, they took over the half, won 5 consecutive rounds, and that's where you think, okay, this is where Fnatic has a very strong first half, and then closes it out in the second. Wasn't really like that, you know, OpTic mounted a mini comeback of their own, but in the end, still a good half for Fnatic. I think obviously the game was very exciting, a lot of clutches towards the end, full 30 rounds. Wasn't really a great game for someone who loves Counter-Strike.
Yeah, and that's what I want to explore. I mean, Jacob, you can kind of attest that though this was, you know, exciting to watch and there was some fantastic rounds, neither team came out perfect. There was mistakes made from either side, and it was a bit chaotic.
This is going to be one of those that is very frustrating for the losing teams in this sense, you know, because it's good to win when you don't play well, and OpTic certainly did not play well that entire game. I don't feel so. And Fnatic, you know, they kind of scraped by, but ended up losing anyway. So it's going to be really frustrating for them to know that they haven't hit their level so far in this quarterfinal, you know.
And Yanko, you've actually selected a clip that kind of demonstrates what you're talking about. Do you want to throw it up?
True. I think it was fairly obvious that both teams had significant problems with that B bomb site and actually holding it properly. And I thought the crucial round was in the first half, round number 13. It was, you know, Fnatic 5-2 up, then 6-5 for OpTic. Fnatic wins the round barely. It's a reset round for them. They're 3v5. They're going towards that B bomb site. I think that's where OpTic made their crucial mistake that I thought gifted Fnatic the game. Things would turn out to be a bit different in the second half, but I think in that particular situation, if we'll be able to show it, is that you can see that in a 5v3 situation, they were playing a bit too aggressive towards the B bomb site, and you know that unfortunately loses them control of the site. Then in a 3v3 situation, just Fnatic plays really well the after plant, but now you can see it here on the minimap. So what I'm referring to is Alu being really aggressive here in an angle with an AWP. You also have to take note that Magisk has low HP, his teammate. You can see that Fnatic still has some utility, enough to try and break into the bomb site. They're playing passive on A, 25 seconds left, that's perfectly fine. So now we can play it out a little bit. You will be able to see the bomb site overview as well. They're rotating towards B, grouping up. That's going to be their bomb site to hit. Makes more sense with the utility that they have. They can, you know, cut off a few angles. Alu misses his shot, immediately dies. That just leaves Magisk. We can pause it here. Leaves Magisk alone in the site. What Alu should have done, in my opinion at least, should have played a passive angle like here from Dark, hold this line, and then Magisk with his own position wherever it is. You know, they can at least buy time. In a situation like this, where in a 5v3, you don't need to win the round by yourself on B. You need to get at least one kill before you die, and try to buy as much time for your teammates to get in a good position to retake. They both die. 3v3 situation after plan favors the T's at that point in time, and I thought that was the biggest problem for OpTic, but it turns out it was an even bigger problem for Fnatic. I mean, they kept losing rounds on B, playing even when they were playing aggressive. They were dying in banana. When they would fall back, they would just get executed on. Towards the very end of the game, they were actually leaving the bomb site open, playing Ruins and CT, which is not the worst thing in the world. They should have won that round, but that's when Freiberg got the triple kill clutch. So I think it was a very poor job of, especially Fnatic in the second half, of adjusting towards that B bomb site on the CT side, and you know, both Golden and Flusha had a pretty bad game.
And 10T rounds as well from OpTic, though, you know, is that kind of primarily due to Fnatic's CT flaws, Jacob?
Definitely, and especially the B bomb side. Okay. They only lost one round on the A bomb side, and I feel that was like a round that was up in the air anyway. Flusha and Golden did not have a great game for sure, and one of the things Janko touched upon was also the fact that they didn't know when to exactly play aggressive and when to fall back, and it seemed like OpTic got into their minds, you know, because the Fnatic we know is not, you know, afraid of going aggressively, is not afraid of doing the same thing over and over again, even though it does not work the first time around. But it seemed like Flusha was not feeling it, seemed like Golden was not feeling it, and Fnatic must be missing having Crimson that bomb side.
True, and this is one of those situations where they were actually forced to play bad by what OpTic was doing. I mean, if you're playing in the side and you're facing a full-on execute, Molotovs around, you head around Golden in the new box, he's mollied out, so he gets 1 kill and dies. You can't get more than that. And Flusha tries to support him, but he's cut off with a smoke. You need to realize after a few rounds, okay, like this is not working. Anything else would be better than this. Whether it's aggression, whether it's playing full retake, try to do something on A, maybe push apps, get some information, right? But Fnatic just didn't really, make the proper adjustments, and they got punished for it at the very end. Yeah, you even see the frustration. Sorry, in the very last round, they bring it back, 2v1. JW has 3 HP, Krims has 100. Why isn't JW the first one going in to find out where the last player is and Krims gets the trade? I think that's where the frustration got to them. And that's a worrying sign coming into map 2 for Fnatic.
Yeah, and map 2 is what we'll be talking about next. Train, our next map, a curveball. OpTic threw out in the veto. A lot of people expecting to see a different turn of events. Still, let's go ahead and start breaking this one down. Before we do that, we actually caught up with the teams ahead of this quarterfinal. We're going to hear what they had to say before we start talking about our second map, Train.
When you play a team like Fnatic, you have to be careful of their players. One of the players that I will look into extra much is JW. If he goes off, if he has a really good game, he could just win a game by his own. So it's important that we don't let him get the entry picks that he's known for.
Mixwell is the AWPer. I don't want him to be freely with his AWP. And Mogis, he can be very good. I'm surprised that we didn't make it easier for us, because we had 4 wins and 1 loss, and we were still on the edge to not qualify for the playoffs.
People didn't really expect us to make it out of groups, but also Hellraisers and Misfits made it out of groups. And the best teams, they have been to many big tournaments in the past few weeks. They come here with maybe just a few days practice before this one, while the teams like Hellraisers and Misfits, they've had many weeks to prepare for just this big tournament. I'm super excited and happy to see that they also play very well here.
Yeah, of course, we can beat them. Our kind of style is very hard to counter. If we play our A game, there's nothing they can do.
If I would describe Fnatic now after their roster changes, I would say they're a kind of new reborn team with still a lot of experienced and skilled players. Their experience will take them far, but I'm pretty sure that we can beat them here as well.
Confident Freiburg as well. A fantastic performance from him. 2 very crucial round wins over on that B bomb site of our first map, and he certainly did look like a happy bunny in that just celebration. That was just map 1, and they were already out of their chairs, headsets off in a matter of seconds. Our second map will be Train, and I think we'll just quickly return to some of those pre-match thoughts, Janko, just to remind us. You were surprised, and I think a lot of people were surprised. What were you expecting to see OpTic draft in?
Yeah, for me, Overpass was the clear punish, because Fnatic, that's probably their 6th map on their depth chart. They play it only when they have to, and OpTic already played it twice in groups. It's one of their most played maps on LAN, so I was surprised then going for Train, but they also have a very, very good track record on Train, 5 and 1 on LAN, beating the likes of Gambit at IEM Oakland, so maybe just wanting to play something that they feel that they are more comfortable on.
And also, I mean, another point that was made in the pre-match, I think it was by you, Jacob, was that also this is a map that Fnatic, if they're expecting Overpass, that last second preparation has been focused somewhere misfocused, I guess, for lack of a better word.
You could say so, and that's where we will have to see whatever Fnatic is able to handle that. I feel that the reason why they picked Train OpTic that is definitely because they like the map, and this is their pick, so they want to make sure it's their map and not like a map they play into the other opponent's favor. And as Janko said, both teams have a great record on this map. If you look at Fnatic's track record, they have won against Astralis a few times. They've won against Envious, who's a great Train team. They've won against a lot of good teams in this map, so it's not unfamiliar territory for them at all.
So what do we have to look forward to then on Train, Janko? What can we expect? I mean, Fnatic have actually looked fantastic on Train in the past.
True, and one of the main reasons is that with Golden they have more team play, right? It's not just JW push high by herself. No, it's being flashed and they're checking corners. They're playing well. I think a big sign is Flusha has been, prior to the quarterfinal, their highest rated player for the tournament. He does a lot of important things, not just on Inferno, but now on Train, holding the B bomb site. He has to step up for Fnatic to equalize the score here.
Yeah, a Flusha Revival, a player who used to just be the game changer. We haven't seen that Flusha in a while. Do you think this could be, this is his chance then to keep Fnatic floating?
I mean, Train is a pretty good map for Flusha in general, and he is, as Janko said, the most important player for Fnatic, especially on the CT side, because he can hold inner side by himself, and he's one of the players you look towards when you see the Sipniks of the world, holding inner bomb side as well. I know the Sipniks learned a lot from Flusha, we steal stuff from each other at all times, and Flush is one of those guys you always want to look towards because he does everything so clinical and everything so well, basically. You know, he just has the timings on point. And Janko said, you know, he didn't have a great first map, but if there's a map that can bring him back into the fight, it would be Train.
Okay, well, we get to find out now. Flusha has been playing fantastically from Fnatic, but all eyes on him on the defensive side. He'll be responsible for holding that inner bomb site. It's Train, and let's see if OpTic are on track. We'll jump in with our second map of our first quarterfinal.
OpTic Gaming, one map away from the semifinals. They would face off against FaZe, and Fnatic is going to have to steal their map away. It's Train, and we're going to get live into the pistol round.
We sure are, Jason. And this is a map, of course, that really does pivot pretty hard off AWPers. And JW didn't necessarily have the best of performances with the AWP. He was mainly there with the M4. We saw some great plays with the assault rifles.
Fair play, because Mixwell didn't have a great game with the AWP. And you can see in those interviews with the players, both teams kind of put some kind of a focus on saying we don't want the opposing AWPer to have any kind of comfort, any kind of a good game. It was Crims for Fnatic, and it was Magisk for OpTic Gaming, who were the gods of Inferno, the previous map. Both of them leading the way for their sides. Obviously, Magisk winning out in the end, the back of Freiburg's two epic clutches at the end. Good kill from Crims to start things out.
Give them pop dog control as well, meaning they can just wrap around, and Crims has got himself a second. JW is finding it a bit difficult to finish off what he's starting, but finally starting to land some kills. Magisk is so incredibly low, and Alu now all that remains with 2 health. Surely this is not doable. And Crims will pick up a third. Excellent start for the second map outside Fnatic.
So much of that just falls onto Crims, being like the 2 kills that he gets immediately. One coming down ladder room, and once he kind of secures ladder room as safe for him, it's so difficult for Fnatic to make any progress outside. There's no one else coming down ladder. He gets a peek over here, gets an easy 1 headshot, and from there, because OpTic has just lost so many fights, they don't have the manpower to really watch him. He just has a second angle to kind of pick people off as they move up towards the site, so we'll have to keep an eye on ladder if Crims is going to be playing as well as he did on Inferno, and that's his position on this map. It's going to be tough for OpTic. Smoke goes out. They're already past it, though. And JW is crazy, but Golden's here to line him up. 3 kills for him. Still some danger here in this round, though, as Freiburg pushing right through the smoke is trying to wrap around the bomb site.
Solid effort by Freiburg, but he is going to go down all the same. Magisk, 3 on 1, Deagle in hand, and Crims will get another 1. So Fnatic did lose 2 players. That round's going to sting a little bit, but this should be more of a freebie now, as OpTic will have very little invest into round 3.
Well, thank God Golden was there, because I don't know what JW was thinking. He's not expecting that kind of a push whatsoever, I guess. Faster pace than he was thinking, obviously. And now because of that death, he's going to stick onto the P250 and armor, wants to save up for that AWP. Not a whole lot of investment in this round, and it's Flusha. Molotov to try and slow him down, and he's ready for them to run right through, and they all line up for him. That's a lot of extra cash going his way.
Yeah, full house of kills. Lekro gets the other 2 elsewhere with the FAMAS, I believe it was. But yeah, I mean, as you highlighted, Flush is now rolling in the money. JW, does he have enough? He does. So he's going to be going for the AWP. Fnatic will be very happy with this start. That being said, Mixwell also will be coming straight through with an AWP, so we could have the early confrontations between these 2 coming up.
Yeah, but JW's got the good spawn for an upper ramp push. Looks like him and Flusha want to keep control of box halls, and no one's really going there from OpTic at all. Now that JW's in position, Flusha could actually fall back if he wanted. Smokes out mid are applying a little bit of pressure and uncertainty to players like Lekro and Crims, centralized onto the bomb train. And look at Alu sneaking his way out. Just 1 kill onto Golden would open up Ivy, and he's got it. That's perfect. He's got 2 teammates that are going to start pushing up on that. Crims has got to be huge. He's got the bomb. Lekro's got to kill HS, challenging Crims at E-Box. It's a duel around each of the sides, and Crims is going to win it out in the end.
Mixwell has came back with his AWP, though. It's going to bring us down to a 3-on-2. Issue mainly being that they only have 1 smoke between the 2 of them, so there's no real ways of exploding out onto the side. It's going to have to be more Fnatic moving in and giving their lives away for free. JW holding down from Pop Dog. Once that smoke clears, Mixwell's going to lose his head. And that should be the round now all over, with Fnatic taking a 4-0 lead. Magisk still has time. It's just more a lack of health that's the issue. But one thing that I would highlight for OpTic is in the previous round as well, Freiburg got straight through main with the CZ and got some kills, and then you just saw Golden push through and get a kill. Or sorry, get killed by Alu, who pushed through. So maybe this is something that Fnatic need to fill in before it becomes more of a problem.
It very much could have been a problem, and yes, definitely if that's a trend, that'll be something that you would hope OpTic would be able to catch up on. And also Fnatic, you'd hope they'd be able to adjust and kind of shore the gap in that defense. Still, I think priority one when they go outside is going to have to be dealing with Crims at this E-box position, or if he pushes in towards ladder room, he's going to have another challenge here. He's only able to get one. They swim around him with the pistols. Didn't have a whole lot of support, but no real progress can be made after that. All the rotations are in. Flames were blocking their path. And Magisk only had one bullet, the Deagle. Flusha empties his clip, or his magazine, into the body.
Some people get mad triggered about that.
Yes, some people do. 5-0 for Fnatic, a really hot start on the defense. JW still have that AWP. Mixwell's got it back in his hands. OpTic is fully invested into this round. They have nothing built up behind it.
Yeah, and that's mainly down to the fact that we're in round 6 and they've only got 7 kills between their entire team. That's how dominant Fnatic have been thus far. So no real weapons taken away, no way of building things up, but Golden's going to get up close with his UMP. That's going to cost him, and let go his life though. HS taking no chill on that push. They still have Flusha, who's up on the catwalk, who should be able to get a kill back, but that's going to leave Fnatic so evenly spread for the rest of this round now.
Some of the pacing of OpTic is really catching Fnatic off guard, and oh no, that's not good, and JW punishes it. You can't give him the opportunity. Still alive behind the train. This is where JW excels. He's under a lot of pressure right now though, and the smoke is gonna plume. Moving back farther to try and get an angle. I think he spotted half the head, and he takes the whole thing off. Flusha now. Moving up, and he's going to clear that corner. He finds him, and somehow Fnatic has stayed into this round. It's just a Freiburg. He's hero of the last map.
Last 2 rounds, he really did turn God mode on, but he's going to have to go one better. At a crucial, pivotal moment, OpTic need him to come out clutch. The bomb is planted for him. He's got a flashbang as well. It's not going to be easy for Fnatic, but they have so much utility of their own. There's the first flash. 2 incendiaries. One's just been tossed towards main, and 1 pop dog. They don't realize he's here, but they're going to be holding down the defusal now, and Flusha will act as the bodyguard this time around. And of course, you have to go back to that Mixwell whiff. That was the moment where Fnatic bounced back.
That was the turning point, and even with that miss, JW still didn't have an easy shot to connect after that, but this has to land. And sometimes these are obviously the harder. The movement on the ladder, you never know where it's going to go. You almost want to take your time, but great response from JW to land that shot. A second chance at life. Tactical pause for OpTic, and I imagine it's more mental than anything because they've had their opportunities, they've had their chances, they've had some success getting out into the yard. And Freiburg probably just telling them all to calm down and make sure they're focused and hitting their shots moving forward.
Yep, just 10 kills collectively now for OpTic. We're moving through into the 7th round, so Fnatic can get their double ops in play. They still have 3 players over $7,500, one of which is close to 10K. That's going to be Flusha. And so Fnatic, they're good to buy another couple rounds, even if OpTic were able to make this pause work. But yeah, I think it's more of a de-tilting pause than anything else, because Mixwell will be disgusted with how that last round went.
Yes, yes, he absolutely will be. JW's got his op. It's a double op setup. Lekro's got one as well. That's towards connector. That'll be the first rotation back towards the inner bomb site. Crazy to think that that previous round just lost by OpTic Gaming opened up with a double kill towards the inner bomb site. 3-man stack there for Fnatic. 2 went down. And OpTic not applying too much pressure here. Crims is going to be aggressive again. Finding a timing to get into ladder room, avoiding the spam as well, avoiding flashbangs if they do come in. And 2 players watching towards inner. So this is a solid defense all around for Fnatic at the moment.
It's looking good. Lekro watching up on catwalk. They have Flusha who's closer with his AK-47. OpTic starting to make a move. May actually push without nades. They're not priming up those smokes just yet. And that could catch off guard, but Lekro lightning fast on that reaction shot to take out HS. Problem is that Flusha's gone down on the side, but Lekro's going to get another one, and a third. It's not just the JW show here on Train. Lekro has a few things to highlight as well. Magisk is going to pluck out Golden, but it's on the other side. It's on the wrong side for the time being, and this is such an important moment for Alu. He needs to get a kill to loosen up the rest of the resistance for Magisk to strike, and he's going to go down as well. Lekro picks up a 4K.
What a magnificent sequence from Lekro. Huge, huge performance. Just following up each shot. We first saw him at DreamHack Malmo last year with an impressive performance. I believe he was playing for Godsent at the time, and you could see the talent there. It's shining here in that round. Great job with the double up, and that first shot was so incredibly impressive because normally the danger of something like that, I was looking at the minimap, Flusha out in the open on that side of the bomb train, and you think, if Lekro just misses one shot, he's dead. Well, he lands a stunning shot, and Flusha falls anyway to Alu, who's the follow-up, but not an easy shot to hit for an AWPer.
And you can see the round after, he's like, all right, I've done my job. Now Flush, you take the second AWP. I'll just go back to an M4, and Flush has made it work as well. And that's the thing about Fnatic, they're such a versatile group of players. Now JW is going to get flashed, but not going to get punished just yet. Does get caught on the wall, which would have been a squeaky butt moment for sure.
I'm not sure how he got out of there alive. Maybe OpTic saw him and just knew it was going to be an AWPer and just said, don't challenge it if you don't get the kill within like half a second. But JW was very close to being punished, and he's going to go back for more. Of course he is. Shadow shows, but Freiburg doesn't catch it. He's taken down. There's Krims as well. Alu, that flashbang isn't going to work. OpTic hasn't even made it outside of the choke point just yet. And they're all gone. 8-0.
Fnatic are having their way with OpTic right now. Every single trade is going the way of the Swedes on the CT side. JW is having a stormer of a game thus far. He's only got 7 kills, but it feels like he's been getting the opening pick so many times with his AWP. And you got Lekro and Krims who both fragging, Flushers on 9. Like, the least fragging player, Golden, is still equal to the highest fragger on OpTic. That's how brutal this has been thus far.
Yeah, you mentioned it earlier, not enough frags coming out for this OpTic side. Well, they're going to go back towards inner. They had some early success here. It's Flusha, though, and here's these footsteps. He's going to get caught out again by the pace, though, by the speed. Nade to follow up is going to slow him down. Flusha hasn't seen anyone yet, and they all push. This is the hard part when you have an AWP as the first rotator. He's not able to always get into the correct position to save your life. He can only get his one shot, but Lekro's playing great. Double kill for him as he takes out HS on the flank. Now it's just all about minimizing your damage as you retake, and look at all the utility events.
Yeah, they're rolling in nades at this point, and those nades are going to be pinpointed over on the B site momentarily. Golden going to be joined by the rest of his brethren as they look to all push one-dimensional retake, but when they have such a huge firepower advantage, that should be enough. That being said, Mixwell and Freiburg are both came out swinging with kills before Krims will silence Freiburg and Alu. Mixwell has the position to make this work, and time is starting to run down quite a bit, and it's not going to be good enough for Fnatic. So in one of the worst buys that OpTic have had, they are going to make this round theirs. Welcome to the scoreboard.
It's not too often you see Flusha mess up that timing of falling back towards the inner side, and the Molotov timing as well. They'll be upset about that, not able to recover. And Freiburg immediately calls a tactical pause. He knows how critical it is for them to get started in a good way. They finally got their first round. They have to string them together. A great hold from OpTic on that retake. And just swarming, you can see, I mean, everyone just being aggressive, knowing they're getting beat up, and everyone's still pushing forward and just making sure that not one player dies without some kind of a gain for the OpTic side in that inner bomb site.
And I feel like that's maybe one of the reasons why we're having this tactical timeout at this point, because it was OpTic ultimately just rushing straight onto the site. It wasn't anything necessarily tactical or strategical that they outplayed Fnatic. They just got some duels going their way. So
yeah.
Now coming through with weapons, let's see how they adapt.
Yeah, I mean, it was the mistiming from Flusha, and then obviously Lekro is the next player up. Can only get the one kill, and Flusha just continues to get beat up and attacked. So a couple things going OpTic's way that round. First time it's happened in this half, it feels. 8-1. They want to go back towards inner. If you think back, it's a pretty logical call from OpTic, considering they had that double kill to start things out there. They just had their first round win towards the inner bomb site, and maybe Fnatic is sensing this as well, because they're changing up the defense. It's Krims here now. Golden has pushed up an Ivy, so he's got information. Lekro is going to be quick on the rotate. A lot of faith in JW with that op to hold both mid and ladder room.
I would be surprised if we start to see Golden push around Ali and try and get around the back of the terrace and get point for his team. But the trajectory of that nade let Flusha know that Magisk was right for the taking. Krims now trying to hold down with the spray transfer, but the bomb is in a horrendous position for OpTic. They didn't take it down ramp, they decided to go box holes with it instead. And that's into the embracing arms of Flusha, who's playing this one so intelligently, using the smoke to his advantage. And Alu He's going to get taken down from the backside. Mixwell misses that shot. It wasn't the easiest to land. He's already got 2 in this round, but surely his days are numbered. He's living on borrowed time, and Golden will take it away from him. The worst case scenario for OpTic Gaming. They finally win one, and then are brought crashing back down to earth.
That's such a cool round from Flusha. So much fun to watch. Aggressive going up the ladder. This time he gets in their face. He doesn't want to let them dictate the pace. It happened in the previous round, and he got beat for it, but this time he steals it away. Then disappearing in the smoke and juking Alu. 9-1. And OpTic, you knew they wanted to string them together because this is the result. They don't get that second round in a row. They're going to go right back towards Inner. Flush is going to hear all these footsteps. Hasn't dropped the Molotov. Still playing it cool. He's going to get back towards the bomb train. He's going to actually fall all the way back. Not worried about giving up the plant as long as he doesn't give up the round.
Exactly. This is how OpTic won their only round, is by some kind of a pistol rush like this. And we're getting towards the end of this half where it really doesn't matter if OpTic get plants. Like, Fnatic are in such good shape, economically speaking, themselves, and they're already on to 10 rounds. They're like, okay, you want the bomb? Have it. We'll just retake. This round is ours.
Especially without a second player there to challenge with them, so passive, conservative play, but you're right, no reason not to play like that. 10-1, you don't want to give up that round. That's going to let them close the gap. OpTic better figure something out quick. They had a phenomenal terrorist side on Inferno. They put plenty of rounds on the board on offense there, but here they're kind of stuck. Alu with the AWP down. Maybe Mixwell's lost some confidence after a couple big whiffs that we've seen.
Yeah. He's going to be burning. Mixwell down to 14. Fortunate to survive. May call it a player is weakened in there. Be a HE finding its way. Instead, Lecro's going to bide his time, but Alu's going to connect with the orb. And another one onto JW, who's almost baited out by the player that went ahead of Alu. Now Flush is going to fall next. OpTic Gaming, or maybe that's the answer. Give Alu the orb and let him just go to town.
Yeah, he had a great round. Lecro peeking right into him, and then the follow-up, the knowledge the next rotation is coming through Connector, and obviously one of the few times they've been able to eliminate Crims in ladder room in that advanced position. That's a huge, huge win in terms of positioning and how you can actually attack a bomb site once he's taken out. So a big key to that outer site.
Keeps his hands on the orb. I've got to say, if this match does go into a third map on Mirage, Mixwell is really unconfident and not feeling it. That could be a massive body blow to OpTic. They are pushing out on main again. This has been a weakness a couple of times, but JW getting up close, misses the shot, going to cost him his life.
There's HS with one as well. Magic's still applying pressure. Crims is alone. He's got to do so much, and he's got 2. As he always does, you can rely on Crims with the 3rd. Partially blind. Somehow he does it, and that puts Golden in the right position. That's the bomb down as well. And Alu, the unwieldy AWP in a 1-on-2. And in this outer train yard, so many positions to check. That sound cue, Golden didn't hear it. Flush is still looking the other way. Starting to wrap around now. This position will be cleared any moment. Alu, I think, just disappearing away from Flush's vision, but he spots him on top of the train, and I think Flush has got it as well. Yeah, the Molotov lets him know, and he's just buying time. 40 seconds left.
There is still time to play with. Going to take a tick of damage. Lands that shot onto Golden, though, who peeks out a bit too early. Going to switch across to the AK. Did see Flusher hop up. You've got to love this play from Alu. Wants no part of A. He's going to B. And how quickly this entire round has shifted dynamics. It goes in favor of Alu. He's got the utility, he's got the position, and he's got the bomb plan.
And he's escaped. Forces out a mistake from Golden, the young in-game leader, the inexperienced in-game leader of Fnatic, getting pulled into the open and picked off. But Flusha is one of the best, most legendary clutchers we have in the history of the game. Against Alu. Still has no idea where he is, and Alu's played this one smart. There is a kit, but like you said, no nades. Flusha thinking Alu's pulled a fast one on him, but he's going to get it from behind. Brilliance from Alu and a big save, a 3rd round for OpTic.
And that shake of the head just says it all in the crowd. They're like, come on, dude. But Alu ice cold as ever. Fantastic clutch, and it does give OpTic now a little bit of hope. If they can get the next 2 rounds, they're right back in this map.
Yes, and I mean, they're starting to pick up steam here, and you can see some of the utility, some of the things that, I mean, Fnatic's out of money. essentially is what I'm trying to say. You can see it dwindling slowly. Aggression towards Ivy, but a mistimed flash, or perhaps a counter flash from OpTic. There was a lot of utility being used there. He's going to force it back. And Golden gets pegged by a grenade.
Interesting enough, Mixwell has got back the AWP, so Alu's going to be running with an AK instead. Maybe that clutch inspired him to pick it back up again and make it work. Crim's going to change from E-box to actually up close on the main side. They want to make sure no one gets anything done from here. Jumping across his Freiburg, the bomb's been dropped, but Alu's already moved out.
This kind of aggression from OpTic as well has caught Fnatic off a couple of times. Great job by Lekko getting that kill. Alu's pushing up, though. He's got to make some kind of a play. His teammates are being traded. I think it's too late for this to have a whole lot of impact, and Crims indeed shuts it down. That's a great shot from Mixwell. You love to see that after some of the sitters we've had. Ooh, another one. A follow-up through the edge of the train. It's into a 1-on-2 now. Can Mixwell do it? Alu in the previous round, the flash over the top. He's going to try and get aggressive at Crims. Definitely not losing this one.
Oh, you just wanted to see him pull out something spectacular. It's been a rough map for him. 2 great shots, but Fnatic right back into winning ways.
And OpTic have been using this very weird style. We saw it in Inferno once or twice, this very weird style of entering where you have an AK-47 push up so far and just kind of take a big risk on getting somewhere quietly, and then with an execute, he's running while the smokes and flashes are coming over the ceiling. It's caught Fnatic unawares a few times. Crims with a shotty.
Alu has picked up the first kill again. Mixwell this time giving him maybe based off spawn. Flash into the peak, and he's flashed up everybody. 2 kills mowing through them. Gonna switch to the AWP as well. Just sees the shoulder peek round the side, but flashbang in his eyes should cost him his life, and HS will oblige. 2-on-2. OpTic right back into this round, and they have the bomb, and they'll be pushing on the B side.
Double up, and they have advantages. Crim still has a shotgun in his hands, and he's on the other side of the map. There's a kit onto Golden, who's got a big job to do, but if Mixwell and HS can play this far back with 2 AWPs, they'll have plenty of opportunities to pick these guys off. There's the first one. Crims has no chance there. It's all on Golden. Last round and a half. No reason not to go for it.
Doesn't have a smoke, though. It'll be very difficult to get this round clutched. And there we have it. HS goes for the preemptive peak. Fnatic will still lead, but OpTic mount a semi-comeback towards the end.
They picked up steam at the end. It was a 3-1 run to close that half for OpTic to give them some kind of a chance into the second half, but it was mostly dominance from Fnatic. Crims again, 19-6, a star. We'll see how OpTic can do. Can they come back in the second map of this series? We'll see when we return. We're back with the second half of Train. Map 2. Fnatic up 11-4 over OpTic. It was a dominant defense from them. I mentioned Crims. He was a star on Inferno, and he's still leading the way here on Train. 19-6. Flusha and Lekro with 16 kills each. Not a whole lot to write home about for the OpTic side of things, except for maybe figuring it out towards the end. Those 3 rounds they got have certainly just given themselves a slight chance to get into it in the second half, but they really don't have a whole lot of mistakes they can give up early.
Definitely. This could have been a horror story had OpTic not have picked up 3 of the last 4 rounds. Give themselves a chance, but Fnatic want to snuff that out as fast as possible. Lekro taking point, plants a headshot onto Magis, but Mixwell will at least answer back for the time being. He's going to get found by Flusha. HS is able to wrap himself around and popped off, but can't see anything. There's a thick layer of smoke ahead of him. Fnatic have got the bomb planted. It's all down to Freiburg. One of the heroes for OpTic towards the end of Inferno. Has to come up clutch again. It won't be happening, and that is a huge lifeline that has just been taken away from OpTic.
Yeah, say goodnight. Fnatic just didn't want to slow down whatsoever, and Freiburg could do nothing but chuckle a little bit. No one was really able to feel comfortable. No multi-kills coming out. And God bless Alu, he's got the R8. Going to provide us with some entertainment here at the end. You don't see it too much.
Just want to see him dome some fools right now with it.
Somewhere Henry G is smiling.
He's not going to see any action for the time being. It's going to be more Freiburg. He's already looking up towards the dumpster. A lot of players will peek that angle just to keep it difficult. HS straight in, but Crims with the UMP, pardon me, is going to be able to claim that kill easy enough.
And Alu just backs off of that R8. Not the range you want to be taking a fight with that weapon. Hasn't even fired it yet.
May not get a chance to either. Mixwell's going to get one. Alu's already dead.
I think JW just dropped him with a P250 at range as well. So, R8 not doing a whole lot. JW's got it now, though, so perhaps it's user error that we just witnessed. 13-4. And OpTic not investing in this round means as soon as the gun rounds hit, they've got to go on a massive run here. They have to make a huge, huge comeback, and it just keeps getting dimmer and dimmer for them.
Just for the ultimate trigger, you kind of hope you see JW R8 Alu now, after picking up from his corpse, but he's out on main.
I want to see JW just get like 3 kills of this immediately. If anyone's going to make this gun work, we've seen Snacks use it, we've seen Alu use it. JW's the one.
Push him. I think he tried to right click. Now Freiburg's going to pick up the R8. It's becoming a bit of an antique. It's been around for so long. He's only got 16 health left to use it. Bomb, of course, planted in the meanwhile. And Fnatic on course, on cruise control to take a 14-4 lead. Come on, Freiburg, give us a kill. Well, with the R8, that is.
There's no way.
Go on, Crims, please. Do it, Freiburg. Oh, bruh.
Well, all the players in the chat laughing about how bad the R8 is, so I don't imagine we're seeing it again anytime soon. Alu's still dedicated to the cause. 14-4, double op setup coming out. Mixwell and Alu. No kits. It's got to start right now for OpTic.
That's a good point. All firepower, all utility. No defuse kits. Alu straight in with a kill, looking for a second one.
Ooh.
JW just TK Crims, alrighty then.
That's awkward. I want to know how that happened. I don't know if he was like shooting at JW. Crims might have ran in front of him.
Crims' corpse is in team main, so yeah, maybe it's pretty confusion.
It's deep in team main as well. Maybe he was spamming? Some sort? We'll see. Well, 3 versus 5. Double op setup has worked magnificently. Golden has the bomb. JW still alive, living in shame. Flush is going to lead the way down ramp. Smoke blooms. The leg was spotted, but Mixwell misses.
Bomb isn't with the aggressors just yet. Golden is going to be a little bit behind them. Going to try and join the rest. The smoke is about to clear, though. This should afford a bomb plant if nothing else. And now it's going to be the CTs trying to get themselves round the back. KHS is in Pop Dog. Another smoke will yield a bomb plant. They can't stop this just now. HS will go into JW, who's trying to relocate into Catwalk, and Mixwell will clean up the rest. Solid round by OpTic. I'm hoping we get to see what happened to Crims, though. I want to know what his fate was.
We're definitely going to see that. Still a long way to go for OpTic. That's a great start. That's exactly what you need if you want to make this comeback happen. All 5 players surviving. If you're going to go right into a double op setup especially, the money is so important. And
No!
oh, God bless.
That's right. You cannot blame JW at all for that.
That is unreal.
Crims just tanks the bullet with his head.
It's like the worst. Oh. Well, he's got the ult back in his hands. The plant helps out. Utility being thrown over. This time it's presence. It's heavy emphasis from Fnatic towards Ivy. 3 players are going to be here. There's Freiburg out in the open taking a fight. Him and Golden exchange pretty much equal damage. And HS and Ladder Room, they'll have to deal with him eventually. It's always interesting to see how teams on the T side decide to handle clearing out Ladder Room. The different ways you can do it. Is it going to be the stack and the drop down? Or are you going to drop down onto your own flashbang?
It can be quite rough. A lot of teams will try and push simultaneously out of maybe A main and catch that pop-up player unaware or transitioning. But Molotov goes down. Was that thrown by Fnatic?
No, they threw one that was deeper, and then OpTic responded with the one directly under the ladder.
Okay, so that's a solid counter molly then thrown in by OpTic. Stop the initial push.
Problem is Flusha has nothing with which to get down ladder. He can't flash HS off. He can't throw a Molotov to force him away from the ladder position. So you almost have to feel like they have to give up that fight, but they don't have a whole lot of time left. 40 seconds, under 40 seconds ticking by. Lining up a smoke for outside. Flush is just going to have to challenge if he wants to go down. HS directly beneath him, and he gets the kill. Spam through the bottom. And there's Alu, still close up with the AWP. He's got one.
Players have got past him though, and then one of which is going to be JW taking point with the AWP. Shows how aggressive he is. Crims tagged down very low to 5. Bomb still hasn't been planted. Time is running scarce. 12 seconds. Mixwell unable to do anything with his sidearm, but now it just comes through with 2 kills, and that's going to be the round done. HS from the ladder gets his man.
HS so patient before committing to that fight, coming out and taking over the bomb train as soon as everyone's occupied with different battles. That's why that position is so difficult. You have to be highly aggressive to clear him out. Great hold for Magisk though. The double kill is what allowed HS to just kind of chill and relax until it was his moment. And Fnatic's back on a pistol, so OpTic's done it at least for the moment. They've broken the economy. Double op is still going strong. It's all on Magisk though this round. It's the Russian. Oh my God, he pulls his knife out. Something, not the weapon. They're gonna cross into the bomb site. They're gonna get a plant out of this, but Magisk has recovered nicely. 3 kills. So the mistake isn't fully punished. The plant is nice for Fnatic though.
Yeah, we'll forget about that weapon switch at the very worst possible moment, because this round is gonna go the way of OpTic. As you say though, bomb plant really isn't bad, and of course Flusha wants to save his Kevlar. Knows he can't stop the defuse. He's going to give them a really healthy buy, though, in this round. JW can get an AWP if he so chooses, which you'd expect to see on train. Indeed, he shall. So double AWPs for the CTs, 1 for JW, plenty of nades at their disposal. Game well and truly back on.
We'll see. This lead for Fnatic can dwindle quite quick, though. Ideally, you want to make sure you're getting kills in all of these rounds. Grind down that economy, one of the great ways that you can win after such a strong first half. Freiburg towards Ivy again, challenging initially. Not worried about any potential op. And also not spotting the run boost. If he stays like this, Electro will have a chance, but he's also got to be kept honest because it could be an AWPer that's peeking, not just Freiburg. So Utility gives up his cross, and there's HS with the battle. Crims drops on top of his flashbang, and HS cannot connect the bullets.
The weakened Crims will get finished off by Mixwell. I think he only had about 5 health or so left after that skirmish.
7.
Feels bad, man. Either way, he's a remnant of the distant past. He is no longer playing a part in this round. 50 seconds, though. Gonna Molotov make sure that no one is filled in his position on the ladder. And Golden is starting to make some inroads through Ivy, and that smoke is going to buy him a little bit of wiggle room. Freiburg, though, has spotted a small gap in it. That spray was so close from Golden, and now Freiburg knows that somebody is just around the corner, and Golden will go down alongside Lekro. They need somebody to bounce back with some entries, and they need it right now. Flusha could be the man for just that, with 2 on 18 health. The bomb also in the hands of JW, getting so close to the site. Is just going to go for the full-on plant. This is a round OpTic cannot afford to lose. And they should, now that JW has been plucked out, be able to get it clutched. If Flusher pulls this off with 18 health, OpTic are going to be dismayed. Smoke down onto the site. Going to tickle the bomb for the time being. They're actually sticking on it. They're not even going to bother any shenanigans. It's going to be the full defuse. And because Flusher was so low, he couldn't afford to peek earlier than he actually did.
Yeah, you can't blame him. With only 18 HP, you almost have to gamble that just because there's so much time left in that bomb timer still. So fair play, but still some damage done. 3 kills, not bad. The plan is going to help Fnatic if they choose to buy again, and they are. Going to start investing just now. Maybe a little bit faster this time, not going for the AWP on JW, going for 5 AK-47s. And the smokes, the nades are coming out quick. Utility is being used, and it's 3 players dropping down ladder. They want to get out quick. They wanted to trade HS views there. Magus gets caught out in the open, fighting in flames. Damage taken in flames, and he burns. HS trying to get aggressive, trying to push up, and he can't find anyone. Now, just now, him and Freiburg pounce, but the rest of Fnatic is here, and they're hitting some stunners.
Alu's still alive with Freiburg from heaven, but make that all on Alu. Flicks across to the head of Crims. One hell of a good shot, but it may not be enough. He has to just turn back and rotate around the side of the CT stairs. The thing is, Fnatic aren't entirely sure as to where he's gone, so they can't assume anything. They can't just go for the outright bomb plant. They are taking their sweet time. And Alu is now going to be getting oh so close with this AWP. Flush is in a solid position. If he doesn't get checked, Alu is a dead man. And Alu decides to turn right when he pretty much flipped the coin. Do I go left or right? And it was the wrong way.
Pretty cool round for Fnatic. So much pace and so much aggression outside of ladder room. And as soon as they get that first kill, the defense is kind of left scrambling because they're not entirely sure where the attack is all coming from. And then you have a couple players in team main that are just being patient, just waiting for those OpTic players to be flushed out into the open. And it's easy picking. Auto sniper on Mixwell. 8-15. Fnatic looking to equalize the series. They've got 7 map points to finish this one off. And they've got a Mac 10 on Crims and a Deagle on Flusha with which to try and do it in this round.
It has been labored in a lot of these rifle rounds though for Fnatic, so...
Yeah, but Flusha's got 6,000 at the moment, so... Not entirely sure why he's stuck on a Deagle.
That's certainly a good point.
I think Golden's like trying to get him to take the AK and Flusha's saying no. Now that's a good in-game leader.
Good guy, takes the bullet for the rest of his team. Alu slowly peering up through onto the team-main side. But yeah, I mean, Fnatic are struggling a lot of these rifle rounds, so even though it's 15-8, I wouldn't put it past OpTic to make this quite close towards the end. I don't think Fnatic have got this done just yet.
This is going to be a fake. How hard is OpTic going to bite on it? And the answer is pretty hard. Everyone's left the outer bomb site. Every single person, every single human being that plays on the OpTic side of things has left. A little bit of a weird battle, but the bomb's going to get planted. HS just coming down the ladder now, and he's got a kill. They're recovering nicely. There's the Deagle from Golden. And Flush has still got that AK-47 that was traded over, but he can get nothing done. So OpTic, even though they bit so hard on the fake, they recover very quickly and very efficiently.
I love that Mario moment from HS. He just like jumps around the corner, bounces off the player's head, and then just wrecks him in the backside with the UMP. But yeah, that's going to be Fnatic conceding again. 8.5k for Flusher. The rest of the team could go for a buy. The reason for this tactical timeout is figuring out what the hell they're going to do. There are options, but again, when you've got a 6-round lead, do you want to put all your eggs in this basket? Do you want to just go all in on this round?
Here's the thing. Because Flusha only bought a Deagle in the last round when he had 6k, he's got 8k now, so he can drop some weapons. They can get a pretty solid buy. But as we saw in Inferno, they're going to play pretty conservative with the economy. They're not going to risk a whole lot into it. So this round will be a half purchase. Again, just a decision to start to make sure you can grind down the money. You keep it low. I mean, there's no one on OpTic that's got, you know, I'll lose at 3,400. That's the most money they've got. So every kill matters here. And if they get 3 kills in this round, then all of a sudden you put them into a position, maybe they're missing a kit, maybe a Molotov, maybe some smokes. And here comes nade usage outside. Fast pace, Mixo with the auto sniper is up above. Lekro with 1 kill. Now it's chiming in. Now it's got a double kill.
The rat-a-tat-tat of the auto sniper is putting many players to sleep, and Magisk can use his M4. Flusher can maybe barrel down. If he gets this kill on Magisk, it would be pretty ridiculous, but he hasn't got the bomb under his control, so he can't just hop across the site and get it planted. Solid round by OpTic. Only HS died. So one player dying isn't really a problem. They can replenish that weapon without losing much in the longer game. Many more than 2, I would say, is where the issues start to come in.
And the auto sniper singing that round from Mixwell. Now we have the buy. 4 AKs, the UMP on Crims. He's got full utility. Where's this gonna go? Hasn't been a whole lot of pressure towards the center bomb site. They used it as a fake the previous round, and HS has been in ladder room pretty much for this whole half. He's gonna have a very quick flank if they do come here. And Alu going for a sneaky delayed peek. One's already crossed and it's still baited out. No attempt to punish it either. Fnatic just happy to get away with all 5 players alive.
Good idea for HS to wait there. A lot of teams, if they are spotted, will quickly wrap themselves through Pop Dog, but now that has been taken off the map. JW finds the head and will convert. Crim's down to 35, but this is going to keep OpTic on the back foot. They can't really afford to go too deep on either side. They're just going to split up 2-2.
That was a big boy play from JW, getting out, eliminating HS. That gives so much map control to his team. There's so much space. You can see the next position of defense is Mixwell, who's basically behind the bomb train. He's so far back, so JW now going to go for more, and he spotted Freiberg. It's a great kill from Magis towards the inner bomb site, delayed aggression, and now they know there's no one else at inner, so Fnatic has to press the issue here outside. Flash down on the ground. Mixwell with that auto sniper going to peek out again, but it's not scoped in, and Freiberg falls as well. Alu with the up has to do everything, and there's JW one more time, keeping the pressure up. And they might have just done it. They might have just taken it, and they have. Crims closes it out. 16-10 for Fnatic. They take map 2. They tie up the series 1-1.
A courageous attempt at a comeback, but ultimately the first half was just too tall an ask to come back from. 11-4, and they convert. So we are moving across to Mirage.
Yes, it is going to be that 3rd map. And remember, the winner is going to go to the semifinals. The winner is going to take on FaZe. Crims is still playing at a big star performance. 26 kills for him on train. Flusher was there as well with 25. We'll see who's going to take it, who's going to go to the semifinals when we return.
Nothing great ever happened without a